One day, as the bright red rabbit was hopping through the forest, he noticed that the usual bird songs, the babbling of the stream, and the rustling of the leaves had all disappeared. The forest was silent, too silent. The red rabbit perked up his ears and listened carefully, but he couldn't hear even the faintest sound. This silence isn't normal, he thought, and he immediately ran to Grandpa Owl. Grandpa Owl was sitting on the branch of an oak tree, listening to the silence. He lowered his glasses to the tip of his beak and looked at the red rabbit. The forest has gone silent, hasn't it, little rabbit? The red rabbit nodded anxiously. Yes, the birds aren't singing, the trees aren't whispering. What's happening, Grandpa Owl? Grandpa Owl let out a deep "hoo" and opened one of his old books. This is the work of the silent wind. According to legend, if the melody stone in the forest is disturbed, the silent wind comes and takes away all the sounds. We must find the melody stone and put it back in its place, or the forest will remain silent forever. The red rabbit immediately spoke up. I'll find that stone, Grandpa Owl. I can't live in a forest without music. Grandpa Owl nodded. But remember, little rabbit, to find the melody stone, you must recall the sound you love most. With those words in mind, the red rabbit set off. As he moved through the forest, his friends Squirrel, Sparrow, and Fox joined him. Together, they followed the traces of the silent wind. Since there were no sounds, even their footsteps were silent. Eventually, they arrived at an old, mysterious cave. At the entrance stood a large stone, but in the center of it was a huge, empty space. This must be where the melody stone belonged. But where was the stone? Just then, the silent wind drifted out from the cave. It looked like a transparent, cool breeze, but its eyes were dull and sad. Why did you take all the sounds? The red rabbit asked bravely. The silent wind replied in a sorrowful voice, because no one listens to the melody of nature anymore. Everyone is caught up in their own noise and has forgotten the songs of the wind, the water, and the leaves. So I silenced them all. The red rabbit thought for a moment and then slowly smiled. But we do love the melody of nature. We can't live without hearing the bird songs, the streams babble, and the wind's whispers. We can show you. With their friends, they began to mimic their favorite sounds. The sparrow chirped, the fox swished his tail to create the sound of the wind, and the squirrel tapped like cracking nuts. The red rabbit made his favorite sound, the laughter he shared with his friends. As these sounds echoed through the cave, the silent wind's expression softened. Suddenly, a small glowing stone appeared in its hand. It was the melody stone. The red rabbit took the stone and placed it back in its rightful spot. Instantly, the sounds returned to the forest. The birds began to sing, the stream bubbled once more, and the trees danced with the wind. Grandpa Owl swooped down from above and smiled. The sounds of nature never disappear when you listen with your heart. You reminded us of that, little rabbit. From that day on, the red rabbit and his friends cherished every sound in the forest like a treasure, because they knew that the most beautiful melodies were hidden in the heart of nature. The end.